Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always ready to break down some tennis action.
Awesome. Well, today we're looking at something that, I gotta say, caught me off guard. We're talking Alexander Zverev, his performance at the Rio Open, and, well, the whole race to world number one.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where, uh, you know, a single tournament can really have some ripple effects, especially when you're at the top of the game like Zverev.
Right. Like, going into Rio, he was the favorite, world enough two, seemed like a pretty safe bet, but then, boom, quarterfinals, gets taken down by Francisco Cerundolo.
Yeah, and I mean, Cerundolo, he's good, don't get me wrong, but he's ranked 86th. That's a pretty big upset.
Huge. And it's not even just that he lost, it's how it all went down. I mean, Zverev had a commanding lead, right? Like, things were looking good, final set.
Totally. I think he was up, was it like 5-3, had things pretty much in hand.
Yeah. And then Cerundolo just, I don't know, flipped a switch, won 5 straight games. That kind of collapsed at that level.
Yeah.
It's got to make you wonder.
Absolutely. It raises questions. I mean, we know Zverev has been vocal about his goal to be no one, right?
Totally. He's made that pretty clear.
And I think this match, might be a little bit of a chink in the armor. To get to the top spot, you got to be able to handle pressure when things get tight. Could this be like a vulnerability he needs to work on? I don't know, but it's interesting, right?
Totally. And speaking of no one, it's not just a mental thing here, right? This loss has some pretty real consequences when it comes to the ATP rankings.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the ATP rankings, just a quick reminder, are based on points you earn throughout the year, right? And the better you do, the more points you get. Pretty straightforward. Winning Rio would have given Zverev 400 points, which, would have put him in a much better position to chase that top spot.
So this loss basically widens the gap between him and, well, the current run, right?
Exactly, Jannik Sinner.
Sinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so side note, we got to talk about Sinner's situation too, right? Because he's currently serving that 3-month ban because of the failed doping test.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That whole thing.
But even with the ban, his points are basically frozen, right? They're not disappearing or anything.
Right, exactly. But this is where things get interesting. So those points, they don't disappear right away, but they eventually start dropping off after a year. So when Sinner comes back, check the calendar, it's looking like the Italian Open in May.
Okay, May. Got it.
Right. So when he comes back for the Italian Open, he'll be defending a ton of points from last year. If he doesn't do well, guess what? He's going to drop in the ranking.
Ah, I see. So even though he's out right now, he's kind of a ghost in the machine, still impacting things.
Exactly. So you've got this window of time where Zverev can really make up some ground.
Okay, so between now and May, how many points are we talking? What does Zverev need to do to actually overtake Sinner?
Well, buckle up, because he needs a whopping 2,446 points.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a tall order, right? But not impossible. He's got to be strategic, pick his tournaments carefully.
It's like a puzzle, almost.
Totally. And don't forget about Carlos Alcaraz. He's right there in the mix, too.
Oh, yeah. We can't leave him out. He was also looking to close the gap at the Qatar Open.
Yeah.
But he also lost in the quarterfinals, right?
Yep. Same story, different tournament. Alcaraz needs even more points, like 3,721 to be exact.
Oh, wow. So that puts him in an even tougher spot.
You got it. So it's a three-way race, basically. Sinner's trying to hold on from a distance, Zverev is trying to capitalize, and Alcaraz is battling uphill. Makes for some pretty exciting tennis, right?
Totally. It's like a tennis thriller.
Right. And to add to that, Zverev has the Mexican Open coming up, which is another chance to snag some points.
Ah, so every tournament counts now. Getting intense.
Okay.
Okay, so let's step back for a sec. It sounds like this upset loss for Zverev wasn't just a bad day at the office, right? It could have revealed a weakness, a vulnerability, and it's definitely put a dent in his plans to reach that no-one spot.
For sure. And what makes it also fascinating is that you've got this added layer of Sinner's situation. He's out of the picture for now, but not really. It's like this limited time opportunity for Zverev and Alcaraz. So the big question is, who do you think is best positioned to take advantage of all this and grab that #1 ranking?
Man, that's a good question. It really is anyone's game at this point. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. I think we all learned a lot. See you next time.
You got it. Thanks for having me. Always fun to chat tennis.